Well, hello everybody, and this is Auntie, and we are here on the late night. I have had so many of you all hit me up in my DMs to say, Aunt, you to discuss this, right? And discuss what you may ask the Chiron Moore foolala that is going on. I kind of pushed back on it and was like, golly, do I really want to talk about this? But y'all ain't letting it go. So I guess my answer has to be okay. Let's talk about it real quick. Shall we? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers, to my nieces and nephews, and all of y'all who have been here through the long haul. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice. It's time for Auntie Advice. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is Auntie, and we're going to talk about this Chiron Moore case. Many folk are asking, did Shannon Sharpe walk so that Chiron Moore could run? Y'all messy. Y'all are so messy. Please be cognizant. Please be aware of what you are saying in the comment section. I will be looking, and if I think it's inappropriate, I'm not even going to give you a warning. I'm just going to delete it. Okay? So please be cognizant of what you put down in the comment section, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be the one responsible. Excuse me, y'all. I'm going to be the one responsible for what it is that you say. Okay? You can have your opinion, but you're going to have your opinion the right kind of way. Okay? If you know what I'm saying out here. Okay? So, so again, the question has been asked: did Shannon Sharpe walk so that Chiron Moore could run? So, what I needed to do was, first of all, go back and talk about what Shannon Sharpe did versus what is Chiron Moore being accused of. Okay. Now, I did some research and stuff like that, y'all. And so you're going to have to be patient with me as I bring it up and make sure that I am saying the right thing at the right time. I'm hoping everybody had a great day today and that you are getting yourself prepared to celebrate the holiday. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about it, shall we? Oh, yes, we can. Well, yes, we can. Yes, we shall. So let me just brief you all over what happened with Shannon Sharpe. According to reporting from AP People and ESPN, a woman identified in the filing as Jane Doe and widely reported as an OnlyFans model alleged, among other things, that Shannon Sharpe essayed her during their relationship. Multiple incidents. AP reports references allegations that include, you know what, the R word during the relationship. And the lawsuit, she sought $50 million in damages. Sharpe denied the allegations through his legal team, and it was reported in an article from People Magazine, People.com. Shannon Sharpe and accuser reached settlement in $50 million lawsuit, and that was dated July 19th. As I said, that was reported in the People's Magazine. And at the top it says all matters have been addressed satisfactorily and the matter is closed. The lawsuit will thus be dismissed with prejudice, said attorney Tony Busby in that article. Um, they In the article it talks about how the two of them had reached this lawsuit that was filed in April, that they reached a settlement agreement in it. Um, Tony Busby again said that all matters have been satisfied and addressed. And Shannon Sharpe denied the allegations against him. Um, Tony Busby, the attorney of the woman who filed that lawsuit, confirms to People that he and Shannon lawyers have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. In quotes, both sides acknowledge a long term consensual and tumultuous relationship. He said, after protracted and respectful negotiations, I'm pleased to announce that we have reached a mutually agreed upon resolution. Now, to date, I don't read you all an amount going out on this, right? Um, I don't know. I think anybody got like the full thing on it, right? I don't know. Um, I don't. We don't know whether or not it was the full 50 million, whether it was 30 million, or whether it was 10. But whatever it was enough for girlfriend to say she retiring from the business. Okay. Now, she was still a young girl, so I was, kind of like wondering, how much was it if you're gonna just go ahead and retire from your full time job, which allegedly, okay, was OnlyFans. Now I don't know if she had other employment for the sake of what happened with that, right? That was what was going on. So I wanted to make sure that I brought that up so that you all could understand why people are asking, did Shannon Sharpe walk so this guy could run? So Chiron Moore, of course, he took over Jim Harbaugh's job. Okay. Um, and let me make sure that I get his title correctly because I don't want nobody chin checking me. He took over Jim Harbaugh's job as the head football coach of the Michigan Wolverines. He was promoted to coach after, like I said, Harbaugh departed from the NFL. He was previously Michigan's offensive coordinator and offensive line coach. And it is said that he was widely respected for players' development and leadership. Now, there's a lot of information that has been going out downtown on the streets about this situation, where a lot of people were saying, they didn't think he was qualified for the job. From my understanding, this is one of those teams who are like the top 10. Um, so I don't know. But these allegations came out downtown to the street. So basically, the controversy surrounding him, Chiron Moore, is connected to the NCAA's investigation into uh, um no, that's not it. Hold on, y'all. Just 1 second. Let me make sure I get this stuff right. So on in an article in The Guardian 11 days ago, Chiron Moore's firing. He was fired for inappropriate relationship. They fired him for cause after finding credible evidence he had an inappropriate relationship with a female staff member citing a university investigation and policy violations. They said that this isn't just NCAA sign dealing, it involves internal university personnel policy and conduct. So Moore was arrested in December of 2025 after a reported incident involving alleged stalking, home invasion, and threatening behavior connected to this relationship. They said that the wife Chiron Moore called 911 to report fire coach was threatening to unalive himself after he fled his home with knives. Now, I don't know why this article in People says that it was the wife, because I could have sworn it was the girlfriend. But this article came out on December 22nd of 2025. Why is this popping up here like this? I want to make sure that I put it up here for the record. Um, so here's the article for the record in the People magazine. You can see the date, December 22nd, 2025. Wife of Chiron Moore called 911 to report fire head coach. Okay. In an audio obtained by People, a 911 dispatcher tells police that they just got a call. So People magazine is saying need to know. There are at least two calls placed on the afternoon of December 10th reporting that recently fired Michigan football coach Sherrone Moore was, in a bad place, a bad headspace. We won't say what the word is. The first of those calls was made following the confrontation between Moore and the Michigan staffer who reported their relationship to the school. A few minutes later, Kelly Moore reported her husband was in a bad place, and law enforcement drove to the Michigan athletic facility and Moore's home before locating him downtown at the church. Now, the call came through at approximately 4:15 p.m. on December 10th and was placed by a lawyer for the Michigan staffer who had been romantically involved with after he allegedly forced his way into this girl's home and fled with multiple knives from her daggone kitchen. The lawyer said that the staffer had called to tell her there's a male at the location whom she identified as him, and then alleged that he was attacking her and had been stalking her for months. Again, people are asking the question, did Shannon Sharpe walk so he could run? These cases sound kind of the same, don't they, y'all? They got like the same kind of undertone and overtone and whatever to them, in my humble opinion. But when these men gonna learn? Now, allegedly, this girl had indicated that, well, people had indicated that she was the assistant or something she was working for. Allegedly, she was making $50,000. And in a year, allegedly, her salary doubled to 100,000. And I'm sure he the head coach. But ain't nobody questioned a $50,000 raise. Allegedly, according to the word on the curb, okay, may not be actual, may not be factual. This is just what, the allegations that are out there on the street is that everybody knew about the affair. That it had been going on for what they say, 3 years allegedly. So if it wasn't appropriate then for the staff, why ain't it appropriate now? Or is it that he took it to a whole different level? Y'all let me know downtown in the chat, because y'all the ones that told me y'all wanted me to cover this story for y'all. Okay. Okay. They said that prosecutors and law enforcement sources have stated that they are charging him, including felony home invasion and misdemeanor stalking. Multiple outlets, including the New York Post, covered reported social media messages and interactions Moore had with this woman, described by some as uncomfortable or inappropriate. That is in an article from the New York Post, okay, dated December 22nd. Chiron Moore's creepy Instagram messages revealed by women he was pursuing. Let's see if we can find these text messages. And they got in here Michigan offensive coordinator Chip Lindsey leaves. Let me tell you something. When I saw this case and when I first saw it and all of the news that was coming out, I was like, nobody does anything in a bubble. You're just not going to tell me that people are doing stuff in a bubble. You're not going to tell me that there's not people who understand and know what's going on. And they turn a blind eye to it until they are legally responsible for doing something about it. But the thing about it that amazes me about these men is that they all think that they're immune from the past mistakes of their comrades and their friends. Like, I'm going to go hit on and had this affair with her, but I ain't going to get caught up like everybody else do. Like, my shit going to come out differently. Like, I'm sorry, what? Yours going to come out the same way. And even if you don't pay in court, you're going to pay during your grave time. I truly believe that. Now, I do believe in remission of sins, and I believe that people can repent for what they did, but I also believe that you reap what you sow as well, right? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Now, let me find that daggone article I just opened up. See if I can find it. I got so much stuff opened up, y'all, because I got a whole lot of stuff open up. Let me see where it's at. So in this article in the New York Post, and I'll make sure that I drop this down in the description box. So this person said, in quotes, wait a minute. First of all, let me show y'all who he is. I got a bunch of open. Hold on, y'all. Y'all be patient. Y'all always patient with me. So, I mean. So this is the article that came out. This is Chiron Moore. Chiron Moore allegedly messaged a woman after hours before the Purdue game on November 1st of 2025. Idiot. Just a straight idiot, in my opinion. These men don't ever learn. They think they could do what they want to when they want to. Chiron Moore's creepy Instagram messages. This was by Mark Sanchez. Questions about Sherrone Moore's judgment and mental state have persisted long before the Michigan head coach was arrested after he allegedly broke into the home of a female football staff member and threatened, In an investigation, the athletic published Monday revealed numerous red flags, including exchanges with women on Instagram beginning back in 2020, and he got a whole full-fledged wife and some kids. And as recently as last month, and they got a newborn baby because the baby was getting pushed in the stroller. That preceded the arrest and the firing, with cause over what the school said was inappropriate relationship. That department spoke with 5 women. Five women who said they had strange and uncomfortable exchanges with this mofo on social media. Their interactions were raised to university officials back in 2024. But that's what I'm saying. They covered this stuff up. So did he not learn anything? Everybody think that they exempt from some This is stupid. 5 women said the stuff they said on social media. The interactions were raised to university back in fall. Earlier this year, as head coach, 2 people briefed on the matter told the athlete the behavior was not seen to be criminal and was not known to involve school employees, according to the reports, but it might have hinted at deeper issues with this mofo. Now he's sitting up in jail. And he didn't think. Did he not see the Shannon Sharpe, Cap Williams interview? No, he's sitting in jail. I think he was the only and the first black coach at that particular prestigious school. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section if I'm wrong about it. You breaking barriers and busting a glass ceiling, but you can't keep your business in check. And so what you gonna say? Number the dog in me? What are you gonna say? Number the dog in me? And the sad thing about it is, this must have been going on for eons. It's been going on for eons. That's why they feel like they could do this stuff. I be trying to listen to people who be talking about the red pill, blue pill situation. I don't know if y'all know anything about that, but if he wasn't who he was and in the position that he is in, he probably would have never had a chance with these girls or these women. They don't ever think about that. Or maybe it is that they think about, and that's what leads them, because they like, she out of my league. But I'm going to throw my position and my weight around, which is SH. What in that is going on with these men? They said that someone said it was not SH. One official told the athlete it was propriety. Are you an idiot kind of stuff? Moore, who is married, the father of 3, reached out to the woman through Instagram by direct messaging or liking a story that they post. According to one of the freaking women, he asked if he could fly her into Michigan to see him. She asked about the expectations associated with the request, like what the you want me to come out there for, and whether she would be holed up in some hotel room. He said, I guess we'll have to see. What the do you mean you guess we gotta see? Then she said that he had the audacity to say, I would say yes, but you would also have a driver. But we'll go into that detail later on. And this is him in a picture. Let me share this up on the motherfucking screen. These men they ain't. And society want to blame women for being older and not ever getting married. This why? This his got wife. They done blurred out the kids, but he got kids. But she wasn't good enough for him. And I know certainly women that look like me ain't good enough for him. Good for me, because then I ain't got to be going through the drama. No, I said the other day, you all know, before all of the stuff that came out with Shannon Sharpe, I was a Shannon Sharpe fan. I love Shannon Sharpe back in his heydays, in his football days, and stuff like that. Watched his career, watched him when he started his YouTube channel when it was number 30 of us up in that, okay? And I since then don't watch him, but I was very curious to see what Shannon Sharpe had to say about this, which is why a lot of people are asking the question, did Shannon Sharpe walk so Chiron Moore could run? Because Shannon Sharpe had the one girl, at least the one girl. Chiron Moore looked like he was trying to juggle five of them with your old ass. Shannon Sharpe said in a video that he did 11 days ago when everybody was covering this, because y'all know I don't be jumping on it until y'all just wear me down. He said the following. He said it kind of sucks. It sucks real bad on both ends for both parties that are involved. He said, I didn't think there's a way that you can feel safe in a situation like this. Like it's almost like looking over your shoulder every time. He said, you know what I'm saying? Shannon said it's like looking over your shoulder. You on a lookout. You ain't one of the drug boys. You one of the anyway. You out there looking over your shoulder for a relationship? So if you looking over your shoulder, then you know you wrong. He said, you know what I'm saying? You go to work, or he said, I mean, at some point, maybe some guys don't get caught, but more times than not, man, yeah. He said, it's just a tough situation. You got to have discipline. You got to lead by example. You lead men, so you want to be an example to them, lead them the right way. And then to have this is just unfortunate. He said, I think the thing is that all of the situations that you heard, you never think a situation like this can happen to you. Even though you doing what you heard about, this is going to be different. She ain't like that. It ain't going to happen. She ain't gonna call me out. She ain't gonna throw me under the bus. She ain't gonna put my name out there in the street. She ain't like that. She got me. She my ride or die. She been beside me. But yeah, but don't let the rent don't get paid. Let the Christian Louboutins and don't get on her shoe on the bottom of her feet. Let her not get invited to a party. Let you act wrong. That you do anything that she don't like. I ain't no way in the world I would have somebody be in a relationship with somebody where that's kind of that level of stuff is over my head. That. So he said, you think that she ain't like that, it ain't going to happen to you. It ain't going to get out there. Don't nobody know but me and her. Now that's ignorant to even think that. But they do. And they think that they at that level of wealth because they making money. They at that level of wealth, right? That they can just make it disappear. Pay a little bit. But guess what? If you could be brought for a price, then so can telling your business be brought for a price. He said, I can imagine 6, 7 months ago, I went through something very similar. So I know what that storm is like. And he said, and unless you've been in it, that's why when people say this is what I would do, you don't know what you would do until you in it, until you in that pressure cooker, until you in the eye of the storm. And then, of course, he went on to whine about, people not being in his corner. How people gonna be in your corner when you've been hiding in the dark with the woman? The Chiron Moore, it appears from rumors in the street and allegations that have been made that everybody knew he was messing with the girl. And then Shannon goes on to talk about how you work for this stuff all your life, but you give it over or for some, you give it up. Everything that you work for, you give it up to be with somebody in an inappropriate relationship or doing inappropriate things within that relationship. And then you want to come out to everybody and say, what? I ain't do it. But you think that being a football coach, that Sherrone Moore didn't know what he was going through? Sherrone Moore did not know what was going on downtown, to the internet, to the streets, to the courtrooms with Shannon Sharpe. The stupid. It's stupid. It's just dumb. Then they said that he was in some kind of other situation. Um, on three's Pete, somebody wrote about expected punishment, including more suspension for deleting more than 50 texts. Is part of the NCAA. What the? That's in on three. On Friday, the NCAA Infractions Committee is expected to publicly announce its findings, including an additional punishment from its 2-year investigation into Michigan's much publicized 2023 sign stealing scandal involving former staffer Connor Stallions, the Wolverines, have already self imposed a 2 game suspension for a second year. Head coach Chiron Moore, who was Michigan's offensive coordinator during its national championship winning 2023 campaign. During a Thursday appearance at the Pat McAfee show, ESPN insider Pete shared some insight into what the Wolverines could expect when the NCAA drops the proverbial hammer, and even hinted that any additional discipline would hit more like a feather. Back in May, Michigan announced it was suspending Moore for the third and fourth games of the 2025 season against Central Michigan and at Nebraska as part of self imposed penalties for his involvement in a scandal. Moore allegedly deleted more than 50 text messages from the Stallions the same day the sign stealing scandal broke in October of 2023, according to ESPN. And then you sitting out there messing with your staff? Then somebody by the name of Mia Sorty, she's an OnlyFans girl, that said that he was contacting her. The whole hell? Everything you desired, you prayed for, you worked for, you throw it away for an inappropriate relationship. That judge sat there and told him when he was sitting his dumb butt up in that jail cell looking right dumb. Let me bring this picture back up. Let me bring this picture back up. Cause we about to do Game of Thrones. Shame. Shame. Y'all remember when they had Cersei? Was that Cersei that was walking through the streets while he was sitting up in here looking dumb? They told him no alcohol. You can't do this. You can't do that. Knick knack, patty rack, give a dog a bone. You can't do nothing. You got the report. Like your whole life was football. What a legacy. Their kids right now is too young to clearly understand. But trust me, the father sin's gonna fall upon the children. It's a got shame. Why is it that men never understand or get a hint of what life could be like if they don't stop doing what they doing, if they don't use each other as examples and say, man, this happened to him, I don't want this to happen to me. Like, what the is going on for real, for real? From to recap it, from 2023 to 2025, he had the sign still in investigation. December 25th of this year, firing, and now he got these stupid legal issues because he went to somebody's house and acted a fool that he wasn't supposed to be in a relationship. But let me make sure that I clear this. So this is rumors versus verified information. Some content people that are online, rumors and stuff like that, that come from, different platforms and stuff, they're opinion driven. Okay. label. We got to think about them as reported claims from media outlets. Cite them. That's why I be citing them. They, in my opinion, a lot of them are unverified unless it's through the courts. For example, I just showed y'all the New York Post, and they are all alleged. They're all alleged until it's proven. This is ridiculous. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. When are men gonna learn? I don't get it. I mean, I know that there's some women who have thrown their lives away, be out there fighting over men and stupid stuff like that. But in my opinion, I don't believe that we do it at the same rate of men. The young lady that came out and did the stuff with Tylil, now she backpedaling off of her story. And she just shut her social media down and everything. These people gotta learn everything ain't everything that look good just ain't good, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Again, this is, this information is only verified if it's through the court. We just having a discussion out here. These are my opinions and not facts. Make sure you check the content. I'll make sure I put some in there. But y'all let me know what y'all think, because, the streets is talking, and this is unfortunate. And the sad thing about it is that kids be looking up to these guys. They be looking up to them, wanting an example. Even if they have, I've learned that children want an example, even if they not their parents, and they got their parents in the house, right? Because a lot of people allege that a lot of this stuff, these boys don't have parents in the home. Some of these kids got parents in the home, and their parents see someone doing good and having a great job, right? And they want their kids to emulate them, right? Not to be them, but to know that that ceiling has been broken, so you get an opportunity to possibly be that, do that, be, you know what I'm saying? Girls and boys. If he can do that, you can do it. If she can do that, you can do it. It gives them that incentive and that motivation to reach higher. And it's easier to believe that you can do something when you can see it, when it's tangible, when you can touch it, when you can see somebody who is doing it, who is an example to you, right? You see that and you like, okay, baby, you could do this, because look at this person. Look at that person. This person went to the moon, baby. So guess what? If you work hard and you do all of your stuff that you need to do in school, and you get your degree or whatever, you too can be an astronaut. It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing wrong with wanting to be like somebody or using someone as an example of what you can achieve in your own life. And I don't want to make this about race, but as a black man, he was the first one to be the coach over that college. Let me verify that. Let me verify that. Let me verify that. He was the first, yeah, Chiron Moore was the first black head football coach in the history of the University of Michigan. and only really been in America a year. They said that he was named the head coach in January of 2024 and 2024, and he done served up in that for 11 months. He couldn't even do a year. They say with his hire, he became the first black head coach in Michigan football's 140 plus year history. 145 plus year history of the college, and he the first black man to ever hold the position. They said the reason why this matters is because Michigan is one of the oldest and most tradition heavy programs in college football. Despite decades of success and many black assistant coaches and players, no black coach had previously held this top job. His promotion was widely described as a historic first, a symbol of progress in college football leadership, and a recognition of his role in Michigan's 2023 national championship season. Now, this is about the football team. It's only referred to the football team. I want to note that the University of Michigan has had black head coaches in other sports, and Moore was also not an outside hire. He rose internally through the program. This is stupid for some butt. But I'm going to tell you, way back in the Bible days, there were men like Samson, King David, and everybody else that was allowing what to happen, what to take them down? A woman. Samson had all that strength. He was whooping people's, and he was told, your strength is in your kid. Don't you tell nobody. This been going on for centuries. And I guess it ain't going to stop with Chiron Moore. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Y'all been pressing me to talk about this. Y'all make sure y'all have your notification bells on, because tomorrow I'm gonna be hitting y'all with the videos, and we're gonna start early today. I had a lot going on, as I'm sure many of you all do for the holiday season. I'm hoping your holiday is bright. So y'all make sure y'all keep your notification bells on, so that every time I go live, you go live with me. Thank you all so much for subscribing. As Ray Della said, y'all go ahead on subscribe. Help me get to 70,000. Y'all think y'all can help me get to 70,000 subscribers by the end of the year? My goal was to get to 100,000, but I don't think I'm gonna make that by the end of the year. But I'm just grateful for every one of y'all that's here, and I'm thankful for every one of y'all who hyped the videos too. Thank y'all so much. Y'all, until we read again, let's keep the conversation going on in the comments section. I love y'all, and y'all be blessed. Bye, y'all.